Hey, Ebro. This beautiful woman who's sitting next to me.
She's hot.
Yeah, well.
Which is why I'm currently as far as I can be away from her.
Well, her name is Tinashe.
Good job.
What's her last name?
Good job.
But she doesn't go by her last name.
I just want the people to know her last name.
What is your last name?
Kachingwe.
Kachingwe. The Kachingwe.
Now,
Kaching.
can we point out how light-skinned she is with the ghetto-ass name, though?
It's not a ghetto name. She has an African name. Her name's Nigerian. What was it?
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwean.
Did you just
You
confuse
brought up
Nigerians?
Wale,
and
so I thought you just brought up Wale, so I was thinking Nigeria. But my point is, that's not ghetto. She has an African name.
Yeah, but sometimes these ghetto names are actually African.
They're probably derived from the African names, and then
see?
they
You
like
see?
go off on like a
Now, do you
ghetto
think-
tangent.
Do you
What?
think-
See, don't you start.
Do you
all right,
think the
Young
whole
Yellow?
Do you think the whole concept of Kwa sounding names comes from African stuff?
That's what I'm told.
Really?
I'm told this.
That's interesting.
Swahili names and things like that.
I think
have
what's
Kwas.
most interesting is maybe what you pointed out about how incredibly light-skinned she is, and yet her name is completely African.
That's where my dad's from. My dad's from Zimbabwe.
Your mom,
My mom is white, so I'm mixed.
what kind of white?
She's like straight up Norwegian. Grew up
No.
in
Scandinavian
Iowa.
white.
Scandinavian.
Damn.
As far north
no
as
Jew.
you can go before you get to Penguins or whatever is up there.
She's from where it's cold at.
Cold as fuck.
She's from where it's cold at. It's cold in the D. So tell people your deal. If they're not familiar, if they're just looking like, oh my God, who's this beautiful chick? Why don't you tell them who you are, what you do?
Well, I'm Tinashe. I'm an artist. I'm from LA, and I have a couple of mixtapes that I basically put out. 2012 was when I put out the first two, just because I wanted to have an introduction to who I was kind of as an artist. And so this year, I've been working on my debut album. I signed to Sony RCA in August of last year, and I've been working on my album basically all of 2013. And I knew that, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I want to make sure that the debut is right, so I wanted to take my time with it and really kind of make sure that I honed in on all the songs and everything sounded quality. So I didn't want to rush it, so I decided instead to put out another mixtape this year. So I kind of, I have a studio at home, a home studio, and I just collaborated with some real dope producers and put that together, and then threw it online in November, and it's just, I've been really blessed that people have received it so well, and hopefully that's a kind of an introduction to where I'm going with the album coming out 2014.
Don't lie. Did you hear anything she just said?
No, I was just looking at her.
Me too. I was gonna take that. I was gonna say I was just
my
looking at her
goodness.
glossy lips and mouth move. I didn't hear anything she just said.
talking some real.
She said something. I heard home studio, mixtapes, November, blessed, and
Blessed. We can focus on blessed.
Ebro, you know, you're the program director here.
Not right now.
I know, but my point is, you have to show people that we judge them for the talent. You can't just stare at how beautiful they are and then throw everything else out the window. You have to pretend.
You know what?
But she is a lovely, lovely lady.
Play the records too.
But you got to hear. I just checked. I'll be honest. I just checked out her music too. I mean, she's new. I know she's new to us, so we're just checking her out. No pun intended.
Fair enough.
But I saw the video. It was dope. I will say, if you think she's beautiful now, she's rather seductive in the video that I watched.
Selling sex, eh?
A little bit. It's a sexy video.
Yeah, the introduction video you're talking about. Yeah.
Selling sex, eh?
I wouldn't say selling sex.
No, I think it's more of like, well, the song "Vulnerable" is supposed to put you in that kind of mind state and that that frame of just reference in the feeling of vulnerability. So I wanted that to come across in the visuals. I wanted it to be kind of just a little bit, make you a tiny bit uncomfortable. So that was kind of a conscious decision there.
Selling sex, eh?
I don't.
It's an introduction video.
Why are you using the A? Why did you become Canadian
It's
about it?
not even a music video.
But I will say it did like you. How can I describe this? I remember I had the thought when I was watching this video that I was like, this sounds bad. There's no good way to say this.
Just say it. You got to say it.
Well,
now.
no, I don't believe when I watch someone perform on a video that means that they are like it's more sexual because their video appears sexual. But I will say your ability to act sexy was very impressive. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Convincing, actually.
it was convincing. Like, you couldn't go up to, like, I know plenty of women who are beautiful And if I was like, yo, just give me some
couldn't
sexy
they couldn't
shit.
turn it on.
They couldn't turn it on. You were able to turn it on quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person, as an artist, I like to experiment in my videos, and I'm really hands-on in my visuals, and sometimes I get super in character, and I like to play different roles, and they're not necessarily like 100% like, that's Tinashe, but that's just the art, that's the visual, and I've done that with some
Black
of my
hands.
other
You guys
videos.
just saw the
and
black hands. That was black girl hands.
Black
Her
girl hands
father's
are real.
African,
In the
but
past.
evidently she has black girl hands when she talks.
I think there's a lot of
LA.
African hands. I think hands are big in Africa.
Hands are big, and it's our people. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to. She had.
Where does your family
out
come
there.
from in Africa?
I have no idea.
Damn.
I'm not
You
not
got that washed by.
I'm stopped at the plantation. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Straight to the
Damn, that's a
plantation. Cut
shame.
off. She can go all the way back home. You know what I'm saying?
Only like one generation.
You
Like,
ever
my
go-
dad literally was born there.
have you ever been?
I've never been.
Why?
But that's what I'm saying though. Like you can research your black heritage. Us blacks in America, we just stop. Like as far as I
That's
can go is
really-
North Carolina, the Darden plantation. You know what the Dardens own now? Olive Garden, Red Lobster. I think it's the same family. And you know where that company's from? The Carolinas also. That might be my slave master.
So you might be able. You should go get a check.
I think so.
Hey, okay.
All right. So you also have collaborated with a couple of dope MCs as well.
Yes,
Who?
I have had the pleasure. So far, I've collaborated with Travis Scott on the Vulnerable record, and then I got the new record coming out called Two On, which features Schoolboy Q.
So that's coming soon.
That's coming soon.
How crazy was young Travis? Because he's a nut.
He is, but he has like a dope perspective, I think, on just where his verses come from, because he is, he thinks just very left of center, I think. So I thought it was a dope kind of perspective to bring to the song and dimension.
Did you
for
guys
the
do
song.
drugs?
I actually didn't work with him face
Oh,
to
you just
face.
sent him the record.
So you
No,
didn't do
it
Did you
was
that.
one of
smoke weed
them.
with Schoolboy Q?
I didn't work with him face to face.
Well, you
means-
know what? This is the downside, though. The
This is new artist type.
new artist thing, and when you're at now that you have a big label deal, they can get songs done, which is
Right.
amazing.
My advice to you: go do drugs with Travis Scott. Go smoke weed with Schoolboy Q because you want to make it authentic. You
You're
know
right.
what I
I
mean?
need to at least
Gotta
have
live
a
that life.
face-to-face conversation.
What kind of drugs do you want to do with Travis Scott?
Just
Though?
some weed.
Oh.
She doesn't look like she does anything harder than weed.
That's pretty good.
Is that what
Pretty low-key.
how do you feel about that? His assessment of you? Are you comfortable with that?
Hey, I'm from Cali. I'm from LA. So
They do a lot of drugs in LA.
But when you say
Not
drugs,
drugs.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
No,
When you say
they
that
drugs.
pop
has such a
pills. They do
negative
coke.
connotation.
Yeah, but I'm
It's Hollywood.
We're not talking about
shove your
pills.
face in an 8-ball. Let's do it.
Do you ever shove your face in 8-balls?
I don't think I've done that.
Never shoved your face in an 8-ball? You ain't LA. What did you grow up on any particular kind of music that has influenced you more than others?
Yeah, I mean, my parents in the house played a lot of like the 90s R&B, which I've kind of used throughout, I think, some of my newer stuff. I like to integrate kind of old school vibes with new school kind of production and instrumentation and stuff like that. So I was really in the house. They always played Sade, Michael, Janet, Tony,
That's right.
Boys to Men.
Talk about it.
Whitney, Mariah. So those were really what I kind of grew up listening to, and
I love that you jumped in with the rapper features, which I always complained to Ebro. There's not enough R&B with a rapper feature anymore. That was like a staple of music that worked really well when R&B was doing well.
Howsoever, a lot of rappers fuck up the feature because they get on and then they just rap about some shit that doesn't have anything to do with the fucking song. I hate features like that.
Sometimes it's even their own song.
Kachingway, how were
Right.
your features done? Did they stay on topic?
I think for the most part they stayed on topic. They stayed on point. I mean, they embellished here and there and kind of went off topic a couple of times.
But they didn't do what Wiz did, because Wiz has a song. We told him this to his face.
Okay.
Wiz has an amazing song, nominated for a Grammy. Wiz has a song featuring The Weeknd, Remember Me.
Right.
The Weeknd's verse is a awesome, dirty, sexual chorus, I should say, not verse, about you better fuck my brains out because I want to remember you. Then it gets to Wiz's parts, and he's just
We think
rapping
he's rapping about
smoking
cars.
weed.
It was like
Yeah,
cars.
rolling
And
He's
down.
like, roll my weed,
Driving
hanging with my
down,
peoples. You know, blah, blah,
smoking
blah.
loud.
I'm like, wait, this is the girl. What happened to the girl story?
And you know what? Sometimes that happens, especially I think when people are in their own creative zone, because when you have two artists, they just want to do their
And that's why you got to
own
get
thing.
with them,
Right.
do drugs,
and be in the
let
same
them
room.
hit on you. You deny them.
Do you think that's a given, though, that that's something she's going to have to worry about, like... Well, has that been something you've had to worry about so far? Is like just getting in the game? Is guys hitting on you a pain?
Just say it. Guys want to do it to you.
It's a bit,
They want to do it to you. You're a grown woman now. You're grown up.
Okay.
Talk about it.
I've had to deal with that. I mean, working with people and collaborating with people. But I think for me, it's just about letting people know, like right off the bat, and every time that we work, that I'm really about my business, and that's, you know, really what I'm trying to do, and so that people can respect me on that level, because I'm a real artist, I'm a real creative person, and I really want to work with these people on that level, and them not just to think of me as like just some pretty
Piece of
face,
meat
or yeah, just
with
like the
beautiful
same level
lips
of like a
and dimples
groupie.
Ebro, you're literally
Straight
being worse than I thought you would be. You're supposed to work. I'm going the opposite direction of that.
Oh.
Do you see how I'm a professional? Do you see how I'm a
About the
professional
business,
journalist?
Yes, you are. You're
See, there are
good.
men like me you're going to deal with. See, and here's the thing. I will still think the same things that he thinks, but I'm a professional. So I bury it deep down, way down. It doesn't come out until I drunk dial you maybe a year later.
DM
I appreciate that.
troll
DM you
on.
crazy late at night.
that.
And then I'm like, sorry, I got crazy last
Like
night.
Instagram liking
Yeah,
like hella
like-
old pics, like
Oh my God.
50
Tell me about
weeks
that.
old.
How does that make you feel when you're on Instagram and you all of a sudden notice that someone went through all of your pictures
like
and
100-week-old pictures, like yes.
so guys, I don't know if this may be the first time you're hearing this. They notice when you go back and like their old shit.
Especially when you leave a comment on like the oldest picture, like you're trying to talk to me, but you don't want people to see it because you won't leave it on the new picture, but you'll be like,
And
on
that's
the
the move
oldest
too.
Picture.
That's the
Wow,
move.
see, I don't
so
even like
weak.
people's photos.
But just so you know,
weak.
for future reference, because that's the move they do. They comment
Keep
on
it
the
low.
old picture.
Rosenberg, who is
Oh,
this day?
Perverts.
I heard that
I'm married.
Instagram might add messaging.
They've been flirting with
That's
that
like
forever.
a rumor.
That's what they say. I don't know why.
That'll
they
make
have
it all
Instagram
messy. That'll
tech
just make it way
rumors.
too messy. I think they should just leave
With
it.
Tinashe Hot97vu.
Hey, Tinashe.
Ebro.
Everybody.
Tinashe
Remember that.
Kachingwe.
Tinashe.
Remember that?
Can we just call you Tanisha?
No.
So why you just want to go to regular black name?
Because I'm just saying she went with Tinashe. I know mad
people
Tanishas.
come
I
up
can
to-
remember Tanisha.
That's exactly why you can't put me in the Tanisha category.
There's nothing
I'm
wrong with the Tanisha
Tinashe.
category now.
No, hell no. I won't hate on the Tanishas. But
Don't try to
I'm
make her a
saying-
Tanisha when she's a Tinashe.
Exactly.
Kachingwe.
Listen, your last name he has, so maybe you
Right,
should just start
that's
running.
it.
I can call you Young Kachingwe.
Sure.
Word.
That works.
Hey, so we'll look for a new record with you and Schoolboy Q in January.
Absolutely.
What's
Really
your
excited about
people
it.
can follow you on Twitter? I'm guessing.
Yes.
How is that? How do
Twitter.com/Tinashe.
spell it?
TINASHE.
It's actually not that
Oh,
hard.
that's Tanisha.
It's
Ain't nothing but a
Tina She.
Tanisha.
Shut up, Ebro.